Can I retire with $1 million at age 62? Well, the answer might surprise you. Keep watching to take a look. We're going to go through a plan that shows what it would look like for a couple who's currently at age 56 to retire at age 62 with only $1 million in assets. What are the pros and what are the cons of this strategy? So let's go ahead and jump right into the plan. As you can see here, you've got JJ and Mary Jane. Their proposed retirement age is age 62. They want to make $100,000 per year in retirement and have a life expectancy of age 90. Right now they're 56 years old and they don't plan on saving any extra from now until retirement. And we have a 6% rate of return for pre-retiring and post-retirement. Their Social Security age is 62, meaning they want to turn it on right when they retire. We find that a lot of clients do like to do that, and we'll look at whether or not that's the best option. With retiring at age 62, you have a reduced Social Security from your primary insurance amount at age 67, so it's $32,941 for JJ, and exactly half that, which is the spousal benefit for Mary Jane, at $16,471. Now this system is estimating 2% Social Security inflation rate and 3% normal inflation rate. That has to do with the fact that Social Security can often inflate at a lower rate than actual inflation. Now you'll see here earmarked assets. That means they've got $1 million in accounts that are earmarked for retirement that they can use for retirement spending. If we dug into it in a different spot on the app, you'll be able to see that it is a 401k that JJ has through birth. Here you see his personal information. They both were born in the summer of 69, making them 56 years old. Now, let's see how this plan does as it currently stands. Here is a graph of their assets. Leading up to retirement for the next 6 years, their assets are steadily growing at 6% a year. And then once they really start taking those withdrawals in retirement to fund their living, it has an exponential curve going down. And then they run out of money at age 84. Now that's obviously not ideal because they want to make it to 90 and still have enough money to fund their lifestyle and their goals and their desires in retirement. So what we'll do here then is we're going to hit what ifs. What it would be easy to do when you see, the goal's not going to work out, it would be easy to start freaking out. But sometimes a few small changes can make all the difference without even changing your lifestyle. So let's start by taking a look at Social Security. They want to take it at age 62. But what if we just move JJ's to age 67? This way, rather than making $32,000 a year, when he starts, he'd be making $48,000 a year in today's dollars. Now, if you look at that, this is what the plan was, and with that proposed change, he now makes it to 87. That's an extra 3 years just by changing Social Security, not changing one thing about his lifestyle. Now, let's take a look at if he was to change his asset allocation. We said that he was going to have 6% rate of return before retirement and 6% after retirement. It's pretty conservative. So let's see if before retirement we moved him from a 40% equity allocation to an 80% equity allocation, averaging 8%. Now that's changing it for the whole plan. It's a bit aggressive for post-retirement. So we're going to do a bit more realistic at 6% rate of return post-retirement, 8% pre-retirement. Well, that simple rate of return change just for these 8 years, changing it, or these 6 years, changing it from 6% to 8%. Now they make it to age 90 with almost $300,000 of assets left over. So is it possible to retire with $1 million of assets at age 62, living off of $100,000? Yes, it is possible. Now here's what we need to consider about this. This is assuming a straight line rate of return, 8% per year before retirement and 6% per year after retirement. We're going to look at what's called a Monte Carlo analysis to see what if that rate of return changed. Some years it was negative, some years it was positive, and how many of those scenarios still having similar returns but having different years and having something that tracks more realistic to the market. We're going to run 600 scenarios of different return types. How do they fare in each of these 600 scenarios? So it's loading up our 600 scenarios. It's saying in 32% of the scenarios, they retire without having to change a thing. That means in 68% of the scenarios, they have to make some tweaks along the way. So here's where we'd have a conversation with the client. We would say, we'd want to know how they feel about this. If it really makes them nervous, we might save this as, here's a desire. Let's make another plan to say, well, let's do something more conservative in case the worst happens. And we'll leave this in case market returns and market conditions are very good. Because no one knows for certain 30 years out. So we're just doing the best we can to project. And each year we're going to update this. And if next year we came back and looked at this plan and rather than the 8% return, they got 14% return. Well, this 32% would look a whole lot better. And so we take a look at it each year and we tweak it to make sure that the client has peace of mind. Because yes, sometimes the numbers work and the client still has nerve. And the goal is we want your money to work for you. How can you fund all your goals, do what you desire, live the lifestyle you want, and have a peace of mind through it? That's all part of the package. So it's not quite so simple as a can I do this or can't I? You need someone to help walk you through how you're truly going to have peace of mind with the last 1/3 of your life.